The voice coil itself was not in great shape, and with my new coil winder I thought I would just kind of leverage it and build a new voice coil. So this one actually broke off right in this area, and I had to unwind just a little bit of the wire, the magnet wire. So let me show you the steps here that we'll take to try to recreate a voice coil. I've done this before by hand, so this will be the first time I'm actually using the coil winder. Okay, I took a dry run yesterday, and this is what I came up with. And it was more just to practice some different techniques. The DC resistance for this voice coil is about 5.1 ohms. I get some movement there from 4.9 to 5.2, so 5 ohms or so. Again, DC resistance, non-impedance. And this little mock-up that I made yesterday that you can see is around 4.8 or 4.9. But it does fit fairly well here around the center pole piece. Get things set up here, and I'll walk you guys through the process I think I'm going to take. Again, just a little experimenting. Okay, I'll show the coil former that we'll use here in just a bit. But again, this particular coil, if you measure it, it's 16 millimeters in height. And again, right at 1/2 of that space, or 8 millimeters, makes up the coil itself. This particular one, I'm a little torn. I think it might have been a half-size magnet wire, but it's somewhere between probably 34.5 to 35 gauge. I'm going to go back with 34. So maybe when I get done, if I'm successful and I'm able to actually reproduce a voice coil and actually use my new voice coil in the speaker with good results, I'll rip the windings off of this one and just see what the length of wire is, just so we'll know for sure. But what I'm going to do, again, I'm going to use this foil instead of paper. And for those that followed my Chanticleer 2D 570 restoration, and then I think I had another too, it may have been a Grunau, I'm not really remember now, that I had a problem with the voice coil. But I'll actually take that and use the foil instead of this paper. But I did make a paper cone before, using some wood glue, alcohol, and water. So that, I think I'll try the aluminum foil as the former. This particular Kapton tape that I have, you can see is right at 25 millimeters wide, so that'd be perfect here. I'm going to just go ahead and lay a strip out across the top, and actually reverse this because I want the shiny side in toward the center pole piece. So I'll flip this over, then I'm going to layer this other side with the tape, and then we'll cut it to the desired length. Okay, I think I've got a decent straight edge here. I'm actually going to go past the point here on the aluminum foil. And since I'm going to cut this, I don't have to be exact. So that's what I was looking for there. Then I'll just knock out some of the wrinkles here. And again, we already know the width of the tape itself is right at 25 millimeters. And I need 16 for the coil. So let's trim this up here, and I'm going to just use my fabric cutter. Seems to work great. Okay, there's our section that we'll work with. Let me trim this outer side edge right here up just a bit as well, because I've got some tape that's overlapping there. Okay, I think I got the result I was looking for. Again, I've got this strip cut right at 20 millimeters, so about 2 millimeters more so than my existing coil. I may trim it up or just make it just a little bit long. It really won't hurt anything. Well within the tolerance there of my measuring capabilities. And again, you can see I've got the shiny side of the foil that will wrap toward the inside. Alright, let's look at the coil former that I came up with. Sometimes you just get lucky. Okay, here's the coil former. It's nothing more than a 19 millimeter socket with a 3/8 inch drive, and that happened to be the exact diameter for the spindle or axle that I created for the winding machine. And the outside diameter of this particular socket itself is 1 inch. Here's the existing voice coil, and you'll see that it slides just over it. This particular socket too, with the finish it has a really nice smooth finish, and it should clean up nice from any epoxy left over. I think I've already got this edge here straightened up. I'm going to create just a bit of slack here, but you may ask yourself, well, how do you know how long to cut this? Because I want these two right here just to overlap themselves, or come to the point where they begin to meet, actually, not overlap. And all you do again is just take the outside diameter of this particular socket, again, or form factor, which is 1 inch. And I'm going to use some shims, so it's going to be just north of 1 inch, because again I've got to create some separation from the center pole piece, which is just under 1 inch, about 0.985 to 989 inches is what it appears to be when I mic it out. So I can just take a math formula. I can take pi times the 1.001 or whatever formula I decide. It comes up to be about about 3.14 inches, just under 80 millimeters that I need this cut for. So I'll cut it between 80 and 81 millimeters, and just place the shims there real quick and make sure it looks like I've got the correct diameter that I actually need for the voice coil. Let's take a look at the shims that I'll use. There's various material, real thin plastic sheets you could use for this purpose, some shims. In this case, I just happen to have some 35 millimeter film, and we'll just cut off a few strips here that I can actually use again to act as a shim underneath. So when we apply the magnet wire to the coil form, I'll be able to release it. Okay, I'm going to use 3, and you can see the way I've got them cut here. It's already curved, so I think that'll work well, or serve me well, to be able to get these under. I think can't recall the thickness of this. I could mic it out, but again, this 35 millimeter film is very thin. So I think 3 of the shims here should suffice. Okay, I'm going to use some of the gaffer tape. Okay, you can see here I've already got 2 of the shims underneath the foil piece. And again, the reason why I want to create some separation, and I may go ahead and put that 3rd piece in and then just pull this gaffer tape tight at that point. Okay, I've got my 3 shims in. I'm going to pull this as tight as I can now and see if I can get these 2 edges here to join. Okay, I think I like that. Alright, let's get ready here to do some coil winding. Okay, here's the completed voice coil. I think it turned out fantastic. It took me, let's see, 3 tries to get the results I wanted. Ended up leaving the aluminum on the inside and put some of the Kapton tape on the outside above the coil itself. As I was winding the coil, a little clear fingernail polish just to act as an adhesive. I think it worked perfect clear, and then I went back with some super glue and coated the coil down all the way back down to the Kapton tape and ohmed it out, and it's good. It's still wet right now, just a little bit tacky, so I'm not going to take it off, but it fits the form factor perfect. But again, anybody out there restoring a Philco 41280, 5.1 ohms is what I read on the original voice coil. Again, that's removed and not in series with the humbucking coil, which was another 1+ ohms, so keep that in mind. Thanks again for watching. We'll follow back up on this when we recomb the speaker at some point when the weather breaks.